How you doing?
Yes.
We were just talking about the challenges in front of you in the next 5 days.
Yeah, it's been tough the last like 3 weeks. We've probably used more salt in the last 3 weeks than we used all winter so far. But we're getting through it. I haven't had any major complaints about anything, unless you guys have.
I haven't.
I would have got the handicap parking spot today, but Luciano seems to. No, I was there before you.
No,
got here.
okay. I wheeled it in there today.
I saw you in there and I felt sorry for you.
That's
'cause I was
Princess
like,
parking.
oh,
Princess.
I was in and out.
I was here with some salt early before that, but they kind of get in the way, so I couldn't. So that's a little bit slippery, but I don't have too much, and unless you guys have something.
It's just winter. If you need salt or sand, just order it.
Yeah. No, we've been getting a little bit of sand as we have time. But by the time you take the plow off the trucks and run over there and get something, usually you gotta get it back on by that night. So you get 3 or 4 loads if you can put the sunshine together, not get caught in a snow squall on the way back from over there. So we've been trying to keep up with that, and I think we're pretty good. I mean, I've got a fair amount of salt, but I probably will get a couple more loads coming. Cause it looks like maybe the next week here is gonna be ugly.
Yeah.
To deal with, but we're getting through it, and the trucks the stuff seems to be holding together, so about all we can ask for, I guess. What little problems come up, we
Handle.
fix them and move on. So, other than that, I don't have anything major.
I've had no complaints.
Jim, no complaints? Yeah.
No complaints, it's just that, well, I heard a mention, on, Boynton Road, you know, those curves right before,
The island,
the,
or
the soccer field thing, just, you know, there was a Huey thing that happened, but I just got a text saying that in the last storm, the curves were well, conformed to, and, you know, thank you very much, and I thought, wow, that's nice.
Okay, yeah, so Seth, I think, is actually doing that down there, and I was actually down there myself today. Huey was actually down there too, and so it looked to me like he's being a little cautious, and the road was getting a bit narrow there. Is that kind of what you were getting?
I think it's more incursion into the lawn.
Oh.
And having the wing drop down a little bit so that it dug up some turf.
Oh, you know, and that's the typical, that guy, we hear from him all the time.
I know.
I was down there myself today, and yeah, if his lawn didn't.
He was just as happy as he could be.
Well, that's as good as we can get with him. He had his caretaker reach out to me here a while back. And
Yeah,
want to know why we made the road wider by his house than we did. And it's just because people turn on the Boynton Road and Old Tavern Road. So in that, just making that turn, it just, and so I even said to the caretaker, I mean, do you say up by your house, well, it's narrower down by the bridge than it is down by the.
no,
I don't have
hey,
time to think about that type of
Yeah.
stuff, but anyway.
But the executive summary of the text I got today actually was, arrived back on Weston on Saturday, much improved plowing situation. Thank you very, very much for all your help. We appreciate. And I
Two
responded.
thumbs ups are great.
Great,
We
yeah.
like
Well, I
them.
just heard about it tonight, so
Yeah.
apparently we got it straightened
Yeah,
out in the
yeah.
last week or two. Sounds good. If you guys
I guess
need
if-
anything from me?
We're good.
You're good, we're good.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, have a good sleep.
Yeah,
It'll be your last in a week.
Why do you egg him on?
Any changes to the agenda?
Possibly moving Jeff up. I have had him on number 8. He's here.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, absolutely.
we may go into executive session at the end.
Okay.
Public comment?
meeting minutes. Hold on.
We're gonna take. a move.
Oh, we're gonna do Jack first.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So move up to number 8.
Look at that. 8-3. And a half.
Massive winner.
Thank you.
Move to number 4, actually. Go ahead, Denny. You have this?
Just, this is for the upstairs here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't read the agenda, so let me.
Question on this is not about the bid or anything else, but well, that says estimate, but it's where are we gonna pull this money from?
We have a fund for the building here.
Is that a spam?
Yeah, something that kept going after they put the addition on.
Yeah,
Because we talked about the spam account moving forward for the budget for the upcoming year. And we were talking about pulling funds from the spam account for something else, and so
Kim says the spam has 22,000.
22.
no, when this is gonna.
Jeff's here.
Yeah.
As a lister upstairs, we are currently without much work to do. And it would be ideal, having spoken to my fellow listers and Linda, to get it done between now and I think it's the new system's gonna get kicked back over to us in mid-April, possibly. So there's some downtime.
How much time is needed?
55 plus hours.
Week and a
So
half?
week and a half.
I would almost think that the project ought to be done after the appeals and everything. There's gonna be a lot of wear and tear up there when they send out the reappraisals, and there's gonna be a ton of appeals, and there's gonna be a ton of people coming and going. And the other thing I didn't see in here, last time I looked, there was 2 or 3 places where the metal corners, you can see them. They were supposed to be corrected.
It may not be amended on your page, but that was the whole reason. You
Well,
brought this.
I knew you wanted them addressed,
Okay.
so yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
included.
Yeah.
But the wear and tear thing is just my own thing.
When would that be then?
Well, you're completing your reappraisal and you're gonna be sending out notices and,
Yeah, but that's not until when? April, May?
yeah, and what I'm saying is you're gonna have a ton of people up there, I'm sure, complaining to you or wanting explanations as to why they went from here to here.
Right.
And gonna be a lot of traffic up and down, wear and tear on new paint job. So if we're gonna get a new paint job, let the wear and tear take place and then do the paint job. That's my feeling, but.
Yeah, I probably won't be able to take anything on at that point because of moving into a fair amount of outdoor projects.
And does this include I'm sorry, I'm sure this is a stupid question. Are you doing the floors? The floors, just the walls? I have I think people coming in and out, it's mostly gonna be the floors that, not the walls.
Who's gonna move everything, Jeff? Are y'all gonna, as listers and whatever, all gonna move stuff away from the walls? I mean,
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean,
there's stuff, I mean, there's
we could,
huge filing cabinets.
I mean, I could bid that to move, but I mean, most
That
of that
wasn't part
stuff
of
is,
your,
no.
yeah,
But I mean, ideally, the best thing you're gonna be able to do is move it away from the walls, cover everything.
a foot or two, just enough to get kind of tucked in behind it.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff up there.
There's gonna be more.
Huge amount of
Yeah.
stuff. And the stuff isn't light, it's big stuff.
Right.
It's big. Hmm. Ask the listers. I know.
I've got two older gentlemen than me and a woman who has, I think, some back issues, so.
Get that golden retriever to do some work up there. All right, well, that is going to take some finagling to get somebody up there to
Should we,
pull that stuff. So is the theory that you want to be able to have everything pulled away? Or can you do it in sections? Can you do half and half or something?
I actually think the best approach to it is to do a section at a time. That way we can clear a section out, get in there, get it done, then move stuff back in. I just don't think there's enough room unless we somehow break that big conference table down that's up there right in the middle.
Yeah, because it's got the sloped walls
Right,
from the dormer kind of effect up there. So
Yeah.
if you move everything into the middle, you wouldn't even be able to get to the walls.
right.
You'd have to do it section by section.
And does Linda and the listers still need access to their desks and their stuff?
Well, maybe Linda right now, but there's little or nothing other than we're answering the phones and doing
Yeah.
some administrative things.
Is there a way to, is she on a laptop or is she on a full CPU? She's on a laptop. So what if she came down here and worked? Again, if we're gonna have somebody move stuff, we're not gonna have somebody move in and move stuff out 4 or 5 different times for
Right.
sections. So half and half sounds reasonable. Have somebody come in and move the stuff to the center, do half,
Yeah.
and then move to the other half, which is the stairs. That front section over there where the maps and stuff are, and then the other section to the right of the stairs.
Yeah.
Is that reasonable? I'm just thinking for trying to get somebody to help move some
Yeah.
stuff so that you can be efficient. Otherwise, you're just gonna be dancing around stuff up
Right.
there, which then it means it's not gonna be a week and a half, right? So us being efficient helps you be efficient. So we'll have to find a place for Linda. But if they're okay with just bopping up and getting access to what they need and coming back down, and we have, I'm assuming you'll drop cloth stuff or whatever.
oh yeah,
So
Floors have to be-
you'll just lift up what you need to get it what you need as a lister or Jeff or whatever.
Right.
And then if we can do it in 2 sections, I think we could find somebody to come help
Yeah.
move and shove and lift and,
Yeah,
I mean,
carpeted furniture dollies are ideal. They're 4-wheeled, they're carpeted. You lift up an end of a filing cabinet, put one end on the other end, you can then wheel.
do you have any of those?
I don't,
I just bought 2. Where did I put them? They're not carpeted, but I mean,
Yeah.
easy enough to carpet.
right,
They're like $10-15 at Home Depot,
Right.
1 foot by 1
Yeah.
foot, or you can get the bigger ones, but yeah, I think the logistics.
I mean,
are
if you
gonna
have, I mean, I would be glad to You just need two, right? Well,
Well,
you,
ideally,
you wanna leave the thing on, so.
yeah,
What was that?
Shelby, you gonna do that one?
So why, here's a motion.
Yeah.
That we accept this bid, contribute $100 toward a dolly fund. And you get the dolly, you get to keep the dollies at the end, and if you need to buy more than $100 worth, you're still getting a 50% discount on it, and then we'll figure out you work out the timing with Linda and the other listers.
I think more importantly, it's the movers.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
well,
He can get the dollies,
Yeah.
we can buy the dollies as a town. We
yeah,
can
but
buy
then we
the,
gotta store
I'm just saying,
them. That way.
we can buy the dollies and use them for what we need them for, and then if Jeff wants them for something
Yeah, well,
afterwards,
that's what
that's no big deal, but it's the movers that I'm most concerned about, not the,
Do you have on your speed dial some guys who could come in and help you out, for a couple of hours?
yeah,
I
I
mean,
might, is it hardwood floors up there? I haven't been up. It
Yep,
is.
hardwood course.
Okay. I have a couple names. I'll,
I think we're gonna be able to solve that problem, right?
it's, moving furniture is, you don't want somebody to get hurt. That's all. I just
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want to have an issue.
Right.
So, prefer some younger.
yeah, that's okay. I'm all for
I
that.
meant the knee. I wasn't looking at you like that.
That's all right.
Looking at me. Thank you.
Somebody without gray hair.
So that's what you need from us. You need, and if we found somebody to move and do half, that could get started, and then the other half could get moved kind of into the first half section, which would allow you to finish up
Yep.
the second half. And some of it is not about the corners. Like there were some decent corners up there that are still good,
Right.
but Denny's right. There's some that are just peeling right
All right,
off. So,
and there's some cracks where we need to, fill and
okay.
spackle and.
Has anybody talked to Will Goodwin?
No. All right.
Right, because he's right up there with
Oh, well,
us.
he's got one corner of the,
Yes, he does. Linda, movers and dollies, I think were the 4 big things that kind of have to be dealt with.
Okay.
Also, we, since you're gonna be painting, are you gonna work around the handrail? Is there even a handrail?
There are arrows going up.
Are you gonna, you're not gonna take them off or anything, are you?
Probably not until we get ready to paint
Okay,
the walls.
okay, be prepared to block off the whole upstairs so nobody
Right,
attempts to go up there for safety again.
right.
That's it. Oh, and Denny noted that you want the place cleaned. We'd like to remove that.
Okay.
Clean after you're done. We'll send Shelby up there. Let her go at it.
I think I'm more referring to the.
Yeah, I know. Got it. Okay, that's all on the list. So we have a
So-
couple things we have to do. I'm happy to call a couple people to see about moving some stuff. I think we have to lock in what the dates are going to be.
Basically, we're going for sooner than later, right?
That's Jeff's recommendation.
Yeah.
Denny's was to wait until after the beefs. But if it fits in your schedule, then
Yeah, I think we get it done.
yeah.
Okay.
That was my
guess
question.
we need a motion.
Well, that's, yeah, I'll restate my motion that we accept this bid and get going soon. And work out the
All the
details as discussed.
Big words. Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Howie.
Perfect.
Further discussion. All those favor?
All right,
Aye.
Okay. Done deal.
All right, thank you.
thank you, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome to hang out. Yeah, you can.
I'm there.
Have a good night.
Hi, Jeff.
Alright, so now we go to the minutes.
Okay,
February 4th is one on top.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Jim's in.
got it. Oh, that's right.
This is just a, reviewing the town plan minutes, so not exactly.
Uh-oh.
Because I didn't, it says draft on it, so.
Oh, not the one oh,
Not that.
oh, the one coming up.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta say, I haven't read these. January 28th minutes. But now I've skimmed them and I'm gonna move approval.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You moved, second. Jeez, sorry,
Thank you.
sorry.
Further discussion.
Just looking at me, say something. Get stuck in a rut.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I
When she gets a printed copy in here, we will.
got it. To follow up on those minutes, Shauna, did we reach out to anybody regarding town meeting day food?
Yeah, middle school is awaiting to see how many volunteers sign up, but,
Okay, perfect.
that's what they let me know. Doesn't say draft.
And once everybody's in and set, can you just tell us who's on?
Howie, Katie
Yep.
Fitzpatrick, and Kim.
Right. In the slip here,
Or,
number 5.
yeah, Jim was gonna talk about what.
Yeah, just, I don't want to drag this out, but the flood resilience committee met last night and mostly we were getting ready for the February 24th informational meeting,
Public.
but the public informational meeting, and I've spent a lot of time today calling Alyssa and Megan and everybody and saying, guys, we need the renderings, we need specific drawings of the bridge and the, what's gonna happen, et cetera, et cetera. So they're gonna get it to us as soon as they can so that we can, we can
So tell
get our
us,
questions.
tell Denny in particular, because he's the only one not on the
Yeah,
committee, what the plan is. We're going to do a presentation.
yeah,
That's-
the hold on a sec, let me get to the right place in my Yeah, the meeting, 5 o'clock pizza, like last time. We're going to, Mark Lees of the, Army Corps of Engineers
From FEMA.
community, I'm sorry, so sorry. FEMA Community
Recovery.
Relations or whatever it is. They're going to moderate the meeting. They mentioned that, well, we're gonna try for some kind of a dress rehearsal, but the draft agenda that Maggie Foley had is to introduce, well, Maggie will start out with her analysis of all the losses that were incurred, financial losses, which is part of the cost benefit, or benefit cost as they call it, analysis when they compare the savings from the flood mitigation of removing a dam or increasing the hydraulic capacity of the bridge. And then Andy Hoke is going to spend 15 or 20 minutes reviewing their hydraulic models, and they've done a couple of really nice movies. I call them movies, they're about 3 or 4 minutes each, and they show the flooding in the downtown with as it was basically in the July flood, and then the flooding in the downtown with the bridge modified to have a bigger hole under it, and the same thing for upstream of the dam, the flooding that was that happened during the July flood, and then the flooding. There's still flooding above, but it's a lot less, and those are very, very educational. Then the Rivers program is they're going to make their presentation. I'm looking for more information from them, as I think I copied you on a lot of those,
requests.
Yeah. And then there's going to be a Q&A, and that's basically going to be the meeting. There was some discussion as to whether we presented the suggestions that came out of the first town meeting, and I think the outcome is that Maggie Foley is going to go through those and organize them and do some consolidation, because a lot of the suggestions are really the same thing in different words. And then at the end of the meeting, we'll have some cards with a website on it where people can fill out, pick their top 3 items, not take up our time in the meeting, because there's going to be plenty to talk about.
This meeting is going to be focused on the D&K study that the resiliency committee was tasked with looking into mitigation options. So this meeting is going to be really hyper focused on that section, from fire department down to 1,000 feet beyond below the bridge. So, but we did have that other previous meeting, and a lot of interesting things came from that. So that's going to be sort of a side note at the very end. But basically this is going to be focused. This is the whole purpose of why we were assembled as a committee. So super important for everyone to be there.
Has anybody done an impact statement or survey, or what the impact on tourism is going to be in this town if they remove the dam?
No, this is strictly from a mitigation aspect. Flood reduction, I think, is all we were tasked with. Now, remember, this will be further studied and more things will be added to this at the river, within the rivers. That wasn't part of our deal. The rivers program, they'll have a much more expansive view on this. So definitely something you could bring up for
Yeah,
Alyssa Sabeto or Megan, even
Yeah.
Megan
Those-
Arpino.
those are, you know.
Perfect
well,
questions for that.
Those are questions that should be answered, but the last meeting that we had, or the meeting we had last week of the community association, basically, in terms of the Playhouse, the community association has, in order to get a certificate of occupancy for that building, they need to spend $1 million.
Yep.
And their total cash on hand and endowment funds are just a little less than $250,000. So they've got to come up with $750,000 to get a
CO.
CO. They're not going to do it. They've decided they're going to just mothball the building. They simply don't have the money to do it, and they have no ongoing sources of revenue. The sources of revenue are the aside from the Playhouse are the craft show, the antique show, and the Christmas bazaar, which
3 events isn't enough.
the basement is never going to be occupiable. So now you're down to only 60% of the floor space, assuming you get the CO. And those things at their very best never raised more than $30,000 for the antique show, $20,000 for the craft show, and $10,000 for the Christmas bazaar. And antiques are old news these days, and crafts are still good, but they only have slightly more than half of the square
Well,
footage
and that's been
available.
being held at the theater company building for the last 2 years
Well,
anyway,
exactly.
so, yeah,
Exactly.
it's just a shame, the building
It's
itself, so
terrible. So this.
that's not part of our
I'm not
focus.
really
but yeah.
talking about that. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the dam. And the dam, they spent $700,000 in 1999 to rebuild that dam. That rebuild's supposed to last for 25 years. It's 25 years right now, 26 years. And at some point in the next 20 years, 15 years, they're gonna have to spend the
Same amount or double.
2030 equivalent of that kind of money. They don't have the money.
True.
And if, so, I mean, the simple reality is they have no choice. But somebody's gonna tear that dam down for free, do all the permitting and everything.
But I think what
Yeah.
Denny was asking was the dam is sort of a lure.
It
The
is.
Playhouse is a lure.
It is, the
And
Playhouse
without
is
those
a lure,
things,
and they're all an allure, but unless you can find somebody with $1 million to spend every 40 years to rebuild that dam, you're out of luck. I mean, that's the simple financial reality of this thing.
So the long and short of it is it's been happening one nail at a time, but you're driving another nail into the death of Weston. I mean, we used to have 15 to 20 small businesses in this town. Most of them are gone now. And you take the dam out, you take the Playhouse out. You think the people are gonna come for just 2 or 3 buildings in town? They may show up, after a while, the word will get out. Well, you drive up there, you got one big store, you got an inn, and there's nothing else in town. It's not gonna be a drawing card.
Well, I wish there was a way, I wish I could fix that. I wish you could fix it. I wish, but there's a lot of attention being directed at ways to make the Playhouse viable, the Playhouse building. Nobody is thinking that the dam, can possibly be sustainable, because the sources, any source of revenue goes straight into the playhouse. I mean, which is more important? Well, they're both important. And I understand that, Denny, but you know, those, you know.
It's not our call to make anyway, Jim. That's a private, the
It's the
WCA.
WC has to make
They
that
have
call.
to make this call.
That's right.
It's unfortunate if we lose the building. It's unfortunate if we lose the dam, but
And
it's not our
they're
call to
meeting
make.
on the 25th of February
Yes.
Yes,
for a
And
vote
they have
on,
scheduled a meeting
Yeah.
for the 25th of February after our informational meeting
20th.
with the
Yep.
specific purpose of voting on the dam.
yeah. Now I have a question, Jim, with regards to the DNK study. The models that they're using, have they been updated or used any updated data or anything else, or are they the same ones that we saw a few months ago?
They're the same ones. That
Okay.
their work is done. They're just going to be
Okay.
presenting.
Okay.
I think some other hydraulic, I'm hoping some other hydraulic analysis has been done by the Rivers Group, because they've got people who can run this HECRAS program, Hydraulic Engineering Commission, which is part of the Army Corps, and they developed this river assessment something or other. And that's the modeling app. It's a massive program where you.
Does it take into account other solutions other than dam removal? And because DNK study, we know, is very limited in scope and its intent. And there are other things that could have, would have, should have been done to show what other things would mitigate the flooding, particularly upstream of the dam.
There was, they were talking about, you know, of floodplain. Oh God, what is the word?
Yeah, it's got a name. Yeah.
Yeah, but which means taking all the lowlands upstream.
Yeah, doing like terraces,
Road and lowering it. I mean,
lowering all of it to
good
make
luck with that.
floodplains. Right.
Yeah, and those don't make much of a difference, because the water, you know, the water comes in, the water goes out. It's because it's not held up by the dam.
We don't really know what theirs will include. They are not operational. We're not directing them on how to do their studies. We do know that there is some stuff going on with Rivers program, but we're not directing that in any way. We're letting them do the studies that they know what to do.
It's clear that the two most impactful and cost-effective mitigation things that can be done are the dam and the bridge. That's, you know, that's it. That, you know, everything else is round off.
Yeah, and that's based on the study that we did, and that's what's going to get presented on the 24th. So
yeah, the disappointing thing to me,
it's on our website also. There's a hard copy on the well, there's a copy of the DNK on the website, so anybody can go there, obviously, but there's also hard copies, and we can get you.
Is there drawings showing what the bridge is going to look like?
No,
I'm working very hard at that.
That's at the within the Rivers program. They're talking about doing some 30% designs, basically give us an idea. We want that information. We've been asking for that information. Jim has made a big push today to say, listen, we have a meeting coming up at the end of the month. We need to see what your design will be. Will it be a truss bridge? Will it be a
pony
yeah,
bridge?
well, you know,
yeah.
So
I
so
mean,
we've asked.
I hear a lot of talk in this town about aesthetics, and you know, some of the bridges that could be put in there would look like hell. And how can you ask people to approve something unless you have a drawing of what's going to be put in?
Well,
We're
that's
trying.
what we want.
Yep. That's
We want
super important. I hope it's in by the end of the month, Denny. I honestly do, because I think
hope it's in within a week, so that we can look at it and you know,
And
give
that-
them
that-
some feedback.
Yeah, and other members of the committee have also asked about what is the dam gonna look like and what is it gonna look like without the thing? We've reached out to Rivers. They're the next step in this
So-
process, so.
If I get this right, they're gonna pull a dam. Widen the bridge. Make it a little higher. But they're not touching the riverbanks between the bridge and the existing dam.
Pretty much.
That looks like the direction that we're.
Yeah.
That
I
looks
mean,
like
that's
where we're
pretty
headed.
much.
And the results of both of those interventions together do not eliminate flooding.
Absolutely not. They
So there
just
will be
reduce it.
flooding above the dam and there will be flooding below the dam. It'll be moderated to some extent, but to my way of thinking, there's no difference between 2 feet of water and 5.
Oh, well,
So-
Show up at.
that
Well,
depends
let's
on where
see
your
the
first
meeting.
floor is, Howie, but.
Well,
yeah.
it's gonna be on
Well-
one of my floors, but
Yeah.
actually it'll miss me.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
misses
thing,
you. I
yeah.
think you're,
So that's where we are as a committee. And a meeting coming up, everybody should come. We should, matter of fact, we should implement any email lists like we did the first time around, anything you've got, like a list of names, or maybe if you could
Yeah.
ask Kim to do her list again. I think.
And is
we're
it
all
gonna be
trying-
on Zoom?
it'll be the same, situation we had, at the last meeting, which is, it will be on Zoom, but you won't be able to, interact. You
Right,
can
just see it, yeah.
you're just gonna see the meeting.
And how
where's
about
the-
GNAT gonna broadcast it?
Correct.
The money coming from, for what?
For doing all this?
It's coming out of there was initially $90 million,
Grant, yeah.
FEMA supported pot of money that was donated, that was made available to Vermont, with a 25% match. And then the state of Vermont, decided a year and a half ago or a year ago that they would provide the additional 25%. So this is if they get these grants, it's 100% flooded. It's 100% funded. Sorry. So it's free.
Is the money, for lack of a better term, in the bank, or is it a promise?
Denny, I can't answer that question.
Because with everything going on down below,
We know,
Yeah,
we know. We're watching
are-
the funds
Yeah.
federally coming into Vermont. I believe the 92 million has already been appropriated to Vermont, but if the check hasn't cleared, then we're all in the
Who the hell
same,
knows?
we're all in the same boat.
but my bottom line is, you know, we're not gonna pay for this. You know, and if there comes a point where they say, okay, we've got the grant, the money hasn't come in yet, hire a contractor to do this work and we'll reimburse you, that's not gonna work.
Absolutely not.
You know, we obviously need really strong, but those are, those
And
are,
these are things to be brought up for the people that are gonna take over once we step back. This is a public informational meeting to say what we've done to date, where we're leaning, and to have Alyssa from Wyndham Regional, the girl who sat in front of you at the last meeting, and Megan Arpino from Stone, who's doing some of the design work and stuff.
Mhm.
Have them physically right there in the room so that if there are questions about this, that we can ask them, we can get the answers we need, or if there's questions that they don't have the answers to, boom, it's on their short list,
Yeah.
so.
then the next question is, when the Conservation Commission people who died up the Walker Farm was asking for donations, they put out some letters and pictures asking for donations and saying, you don't want to lose this view up through the West River. And once they got the state involved, I do believe the state has got a regulation that says no work, no cutting, no nothing done within 50 feet of the river. It's supposed to grow up, be naturally wild. How's that gonna work?
I have no idea. I'm not sure. Yeah.
How is that gonna work with the people that donated money and said, all right, I donated, I'm gonna help save this, and then somebody goes in and tears it to hell?
I'm not sure. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're.
Are you talking about the
referring
building,
to.
the Playhouse building?
No,
Oh,
I'm talking
just
about
in
the
gen-
riverbanks on both
Oh.
sides. There's regulation out there. You can't do anything within 50 feet of the river. They can't even mow it up through there. The fields, it's supposed to be growing up with brush and stuff. And that was one of the things they never told anybody when they asked for all the money, that eventually, not in a lifetime, our lifetime, because they won't get that tall, but eventually it's supposed to grow up with brush on both sides of the river to cover the fishies and stuff.
I'm pretty sure that's above my pay grade. I know that,
That's gonna be a problem whether you do the dam or not, right?
well, in the rivers, it's not on us to get the permitting at the state level to do these projects. I mean,
The
this
river,
is-
I mean,
this is
that whole
this is
river,
their deal.
the river's been mowed right up to the edge of it for
Not supposed to.
ever since I've been here.
Jim and Joe.
Well, Mike, yeah, if you couldn't do anything within 50 feet of the river, they'd have to tear my house down.
Or the Army Corps wouldn't be doing their thing.
Yeah.
I think that's beyond us, but,
I'll ask.
Conservation Commission, is that what you said? Or
Whoever
the
handled the
DEC?
Walker Farm and conserved it all.
Oh, that was the,
That's the
basically the
DEC.
theater company,
Oh.
wasn't it?
I don't know.
The-
I'll look into it, Denny.
Yeah,
Call me
okay.
with
That's on one of those
details and I'll look into
conservancy maps. That's on one of those maps
Conservancy
in the
map?
town plan. It shows all those
Thanks,
Thanks,
Howard.
conservancy
Howie.
areas. Yeah.
Thought that was in the rear view mirror, but no, there it is. Matter of fact, I've got it right here. I should take a peek.
Yeah.
All right, Denny, I'll look into that. If you call me tomorrow and tell me more details, I'll look into it. See if there's anything in the books on that. I know that I'm personally not in charge of permitting. I think the Rivers program is going to follow up, and they'll have a contractor if it gets to that part that we have to do permitting, state, federal. There'll be a lot
The
federal.
permits, oh, yeah, it must be included. That would be,
That's 2 nights of resiliency. I'm good.
So we be on that enough.
yeah.
We have.
I think so.
Thank you.
Postage.
Oh, postage.
Yes, Kim was just asking, sorry, let me just grab that. The flood resiliency committee is up to $1,000 and around $1,000 in postage.
And
know,
printing.
So where should we,
Get it from.
yeah, like we didn't budget it
Yeah,
anywhere. Kim, I'm sorry.
She said.
Well,
and
that's
printing.
postage and printing.
yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any more of that. I mean, after this meeting, the heavy lifting, postage and printing are gonna be done.
She's saying, where do we take it from? Where are we
Yeah,
gonna get
well.
it?
Well, for the time being, I just threw it into Selectboard advertising
Oh, boy.
because I didn't know what else to do with it. So,
Can you include it in some of these grants we got to do these studies and stuff?
that's what Shauna and I were wondering about. Is there a way to include it in
The MTAP grant,
MTAP?
yeah, if there's some headroom in that, let's do it, put it in there against the MTAP grant.
Okay, I'll move it to grant expenses for the time being.
Okay,
And
Oh,
that
that's
gets offset.
basically what it is.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Does
Thank you.
does the MTAP, Kim, have its own?
line item.
Yeah.
No, and there was a reason for that. I think because it was going through the special funds. So that was related to the bridge special fund.
Mhm.
So we were hitting all the hydraulic studies that I thought were the MTAP. to the bridge
It was
fund.
a hydraulic study, Maggie Foley and,
It was just D and K and Maggie, and we haven't touched
D&K.
anything for Maggie yet.
I,
She's been being paid from
from,
VRBD.
yeah,
Not any longer, did you get that email?
I think yeah, we're
It's
gonna have to
switching.
come up with some for her.
I can resend that to you, but.
Well, I can just lump it in with all the other expenses with the hydraulic study and the flood, for the flood resiliency. It was all related to that, wasn't it?
I agree,
Yeah.
100%. I don't think it should, yeah, it should come, it should not be anywhere near select board. But yeah, if we could put it in with the MTAP stuff, and then we'll just have to, now we're over
We go
our
over-
40.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
I think it was 55, was it?
Yeah, we spent 39, I think, last year.
So if it's 39 and the total grant was for 55, I thought,
Yeah.
50, but
oh, we're
double
50,
check.
yeah. But if it was
So we-
39, we've got 11.
Okay.
It was just
Okay,
getting increasingly larger.
Yeah.
Well, at some
stuck
point,
out saying
we're gonna
like,
tap
whoa.
out on that fund.
Yeah,
That fund
no
is
question.
going to
Where
tap
should
out,
we
so.
move this?
And then once it's tapped out, that's it. There's no more money that's gonna get dumped into that, so we'll have to move on at that point. But yeah, Kim, if you wanna put that under the MTAP, I think it'd keep it nice and neat and tidy over there.
okay,
Yeah.
that works.
I'm good.
I knew it
David.
wasn't gonna stay in advertising.
Yeah.
I really want that to be freed up.
Yeah, but.
All right, we're going number 9, personnel policy.
Oh, municipal ethics?
Oops,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, municipal, sorry.
So that someone just needs to be named as the liaison, basically. It's
Shauna.
record keeping for
Shauna,
the
Complaints.
training and the
The
complaints.
the ethical complaint
Yes.
department.
I suggested Shauna.
I
Can
could
you
not
do it
agree.
until we, and
Yeah, it's fine, I'm fine, I have.
Yeah, yeah.
we're out of,
Shauna, I
yeah.
move Shauna.
oh, I'll second Shauna all
Oh,
day.
no, all in.
All
Danny,
over.
But
Danny,
could also be someone from the clerk's office.
That's a railroad job.
If at some point that is not in your wheelhouse, we'll appoint somebody else, but it puts us back in, we're
We
in
might.
compliance.
Well, I wouldn't say we will.
No,
You keep
listen,
your powder
don't,
dry here.
yeah, just keep her smiling over there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And I did complete my training.
Yes, I saw that, Howie, thank you.
Oh, Howie,
And one lister, those reminder emails are woo. Really doing it for me.
So much coming in, so many
Yes.
classes, so many things to register
This
for. I
dictatorship out of
just-
Montpelier just never gonna stop.
It's all good stuff. There's just like, we need one person just to take classes. Just take all the classes, like Chris. Chris was great. He was like, guess what's going on now? Guess what's going on now? Yeah, Chris, fill us in. Give me the short version.
Totally.
All right, we got personnel policy.
are we gonna sign this?
That's, oh, no, that's
The
not about
agenda.
signing. We've
Oh,
signed, we're all
Okay,
good.
that's what,
This is the addendum that was at the end that Merrill Bent had. We just skipped over it because, well, because we didn't review it. And so Shauna
And-
sent it to Kim.
Kim, you had a chance to review it?
Yeah, I did. I didn't really see any big issue with it. It just means that I and my staff abide by the rules of the personnel policy, which seems normal.
Yeah,
Right, which
Right.
was the
It's be-
intent of the
It's not her
personnel
staff.
policy.
though. Is it your staff, Kim, or is it just you? It was elected,
The
right?
very last one.
Well, yeah, that was elected,
Okay.
and they're appointed. But honestly, we all will abide by
Right.
the common sense
Right.
rules of the personnel policy.
It was forwarded to us by the
Merrill,
attorney
by
that it
Marilyn.
be completed, and I just wanted to give Kim a chance to review it before we signed off on it. So it should be completed.
Right.
Well, I gotta go back and find
No,
it.
it
Yeah,
is-
number
There was just a
nine.
It's right
copy that
here.
did not complete it.
And just fill it out and
Okay.
I don't think we need to,
So
we've got no motion. Kim. is
Kim will
agreeing,
sign.
And we're good.
Kim will sign, and then somebody from the select board will sign.
Yep.
Are we cool?
Yep.
We, give that to you? All right, you can have yours back.
Do
And Kim, you're cool with that?
you need one of these signed?
Yep.
I
Or
have
no?
multiple copies, so
Okay.
I'll just have someone,
Call-
next time
You
someone.
know my
stops.
number.
Yes, thank you.
Alright, so now we're down to payroll.
Goodness.
Oh, by the way, good job on the personnel policy and thank you, Shauna, for redoing. There was a lot of little tweaks that you did to finally get it on the website and have it look like a newly typed document. Super excited.
Yep,
Thanks, Howie.
well
So
done.
I'm gonna move approval of payroll check warrant report number 3 in the amount of $11,837.43.
For
Second.
those who are
Yep.
listening in, this is payroll for the highway workers and the town clerk's office staff. And it's once every 2 weeks.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye. We only have 2. How are you
Yep.
in?
Um,
Howie's in.
yes. Somebody signed for me.
Got it.
No, I'm waiting for your return.
Okay.
He is going to have a very sore wrist.
Yeah, just make a pile for me. Yeah.
Make a pile.
Yeah.
Accounts payable.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna move approval of accounts payable check warrant report number 3 in the amount of, Kim, am I right? $82,702.01.
That's what I got.
Okay.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 This year pays our diesel fuel, all our bills, our heating bills, materials. That's something to
Basically,
pay.
all accounts
expenses.
payable except payroll.
And there's a couple times in the summer when it gets up to over $1 million when we pay the state education tax.
Yeah, we all fight on who's gonna move approval on that one.
Anything under old new business? Okay, we've got to go into executive session for personnel.
Thank you for coming.
David,
Oh, yeah, you
thanks. Yeah. Dave Katz, yeah, I pre-introduced you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we hope you enjoyed your
Dave,
time
thanks for
here.
stopping by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope we didn't scare anybody too bad.
He doesn't scare.